And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 403 of Fans of Power. I'm Joe Amato, and I'm here with my partners in crime, Nasty Nate Nathan Kennedy, the Trash Man, Ren McKenzie, the Doctor, Dusan Mitrovic, and the very special Reverend James Etok. So how's everybody doing?
Yeah,
we're alive.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I'm done with the fucking show.
We were late because we're waiting on you. I just want everybody to know that we were waiting on Joe Amato.
Jeez.
Yeah, with his
extra dead again.
with his $30 wireless earbuds,
Hey,
it doesn't sound too good.
Look at now. Here's the thing. I mean, I can listen
to
$5
wish.coms.
I wish I was there to punch you in the fucking throat. Anyways, I got these things. Listen, I wear these. I can hear shit good, and they they're all chargeable and stuff. And I want them at Dave and Buster's because I'm real good at playing games. And I want these stuff for real cheap. But yeah, I guess when I was trying to do it, it was getting crackly. The thing is, you could have seen me even clearer, but it got crackling. So fuck it, I tried. But I'm back to this piece and this, and it still works good. Everybody can still see me. You know.
I think you mixed your words, Joe. You said, "I got these real cheap." But what you meant to say was, I got these cheap things.
Don't put words in my mouth. I know what I said. I got these real cheap. I'm good at playing games. I want them for a good price. I've been on a roll with Dave and Buster's and these other places, winning stuff for cheap prices, getting expensive things. I'm really good. I'm good at these skill games, these timing games. I'm good at shit.
Why are you mentioning that you're good at games? Are you screaming at kids for playing Fortnite?
No, I'm saying Dave and Buster's.
He probably does.
There's skilled games to win tickets, and I'm good at getting these tickets and playing these games. And in fact, I went to one place. It was a new place that opened in this area, so much so to where this guy, it was the day after the grand opening, was watching me, and my sister came with me. And then he was just hawking me like, how do you keep getting, yeah, you go on, take a sleep, fuck nuts. Anyways, he's sitting there, was watching me. He's like, how do you keep getting 500 tickets so much? I was like, I don't know. I said, I'm just getting.
How old was that kid?
Listen, I said I was got to work there, dumb fuck. God damn it. So anyways, so he's looking at me. You're going to mute him in a second, Nathan. But anyways, so he's watching me. And he watched me so much, he kept coming back and forth. He was like, I'm going to have to change the settings on the game and that one payout. You're hitting it too much. He literally said this shit. He was going to change the settings on it. Then he said he might take out tickets out of the thing, because there was too many in there. I went back the next day. He took some shit out. And the next day, he took everything out. Needless to say, for $130, I won a Nintendo Switch and a s'mores maker from that place. And then he completely there you go. Skeletor left the building. Now listen. So the next time I went, because I was going to go again.
We all just walk away. Let's all just walk away.
Listen. No, you're gonna listen. Listen, goddammit. James wanna hear the story. Oh, you bastards. Go on, everybody fucking leave. I'm gonna talk with the chat. So you bastards. So anyways, I go back another time, James. No shit. The guy took every 500 ticket, every 200 ticket out of that machine, left the cheap ones, and made it from, listen, I know, getting rid of them all. And he made it go from $1 a play to $2. So I said, man, fuck this place, and I was done with it. But I won a lot of cheap shit. I mean, good shit at cheap prices. So you doing good, James? Pretty good to see you.
That was,
hey, how about that for a return to this fucking shit? Sweet James Etok, you been doing good? Like the posters in the background.
Oh, thanks, man.
Aren't they a bunch of dicks? You see what I put up with, James? You see this shit? Since you've been gone, right. This is the stuff. It's gotten worse and worse the way they treat me.
It's not right, Joe.
It's not.
Is everyone else still there? I don't.
Oh, they're here. I swear to God, I'm the Rodney Dangerfield of this fucking podcast. I get no respect. I really don't. Bastards.
It was the bit when Skeletor just walked off. That was the thing. That was like comedic. That was comedic timing 101. It's just like
bastards. Let me at least acknowledge the chat since the other three fucks left. But we got JSP, Zentron, Will Timpson, Eric Sanchez. Say it, Nathan, you asshole.
Johnny Cock.
Fedmon, Sean
No, he has to say you asshole.
Yeah. Jaime Mares, Casey Duncan, Thompson Farm, Fuck. Paulrick is here. Did I say Zentron? Fuck, they get me so worked up. JSP is here. I don't know if you were the first fucker I said hi to. See, they get me worked up. Papa Hud 69. Gavin, good to see you. Adam Gabbert. For fuckness sake, let's see anybody else. This is Grim. Yeah, he's an asshole. John Ballard.
No, it was the truth, and you know it.
Shut up. Chris Carter. Caballero. Who else? God damn it. I think I got everybody. Oh, piss off. Let me see. And I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize.
Why are you so high strung and angry? It doesn't take anything to get you just worked up. Nothing at all.
Rick Poe, what's up, Rick Poe? I'm sitting there pouring my heart out, telling you how I'm winning these prizes and good deals and shit.
See, and even though he's so angry, people usually turn red, but he's still pure white.
You're an asshole. James, I'm at this level. You're at this level. How about you bring it down? How you doing? What you got to say? How's it going?
Am I bringing peace to this?
Yeah, you can calm this down. Especially,
I mean, like I said, I have my own kind of Airbud story, but it's just pretty much I bought them and I didn't know how to use them, so that was it really.
Oh, that was a quick one.
I suppose I spent about like $50 on them, something like that, about a year ago. And I looked at them and I read the instructions and I thought, I don't know how to get them from my ears to the laptop and vice versa. So I was just like, I give up. I mean, don't get me wrong, losing $50 sucks, but I was just like, yeah, I can't be.
I'll be honest, I synced them to the phone, but I don't even know how I would sync them to a laptop. I don't even know how. I don't know.
I don't even know. I don't even know if they were for a laptop. That's the thing. It said wireless, and I was like, surely that means a laptop connection.
Well, most computers, laptops, and even my computer has it here. If you go to
it's like a Bluetooth thing, right?
Yeah. If you go to the sound settings, like if you click, like on the computer, if you click in the bottom right where you got the little volume control deal, it should pop up certain things like your internet connection, and you'll see the little Bluetooth symbol and all that stuff. So
I'll have to maybe I should revisit that. So the next time I appear, I'll be all kind of earbud deduct, something like that.
If it works,
Joe wouldn't be able to do that. He's got a 1982 one of those big fat ass laptops. You pull it open like this.
In fairness, like I think my laptop is on borrowed time. It's usually I would get a new laptop every, I'd say 4 or 5 years, because that was usually when the laptop goes, I'm gonna start dying now. But I've had this one now for I think nearly 10 years, and it's like I'm on kind of very borrowed time. I think with this thing, it's like I think it's just waiting to die. So yeah, every once in a while, like I have to, the screen most of the time has to just remain up, and the laptop has to remain on. Like when I shut down the laptop, when I have to, if I go traveling somewhere, shut the laptop, and I'm like, please, when I open it, I want it to start again. So it's very much like I shouldn't be living that kind of dangerous a life, on the edge.
What better time than now to say, if you haven't done so already, link down below, go check out Serial Geek. Subscribe to that. He's also got a Patreon. So if you want to help James get a new laptop before this one shits the bed, join his Patreon.
Yep, and I can help him deliver content to you all the time and more often and everything. So yeah, that'd be helping out. What's up there, Spare Smurf? But
how
definitely. Yeah, go to James.
Centered is that shit. He goes, yeah, join his Patreon so I can help him make content. Nobody wants you to help him make content.
I meant he making content. I was speaking on behalf. What the hell? I don't even know what
Choose the royal way. I get what Joe was saying.
Joe doesn't make content. Come on now.
You're such a nice.
Yeah,
Joe is content.
Hear stuff in a different way.
It's good to have you here to offset Joe's trash mouth.
Yeah, I mean,
trash mouth.
It is. Ren, the Kickstarter that's funded now.
It's funded. Yeah, it's funded, and we got a couple days left, I think, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's good. Thanks,
congratulations.
Look how jealous Joe is.
I appreciate you, Nathan.
Yeah, no
Not you,
problem.
Joe. You're a piece of crap.
I'm good at that. I'm the person people love to hate, I guess.
Well, one thing that we did want to mention, which is also something that James wanted to talk about. You saw at the beginning, after our intro, we had the little title card, but we also had a in-memory graphic at the beginning too. And James, that was something that you wanted to touch on.
Oh yeah, because obviously, you know, won't go on too long here, but yeah, sadly, like last week we lost, Michael Swanigan, who was, I wrote like a eulogy on social media kind of thing, and it's one of those things where, you know, I suppose, not to sound too grim, but we're kind of getting to that point in our lives where people who we kind of, you know, look up to, you know, passing away and stuff like that. And it sounds really kind of depressing, but it's just, you know, the older we get, the more we lose and stuff. And now that, you know, you get to a point where it's like, there's this famous shot of all these Filmation storyboard artists that's been around, goodness, on the internet since the late 90s, I guess. Like, I think Tom Cito first scanned it and put it online. And it's like, oh, wow, like we've lost Michael Swanigan now in that kind of lineup of all these wonderful talents. And he was such a great guy. I met him like numerous times. He came to PowerCon quite a few times, I think, as a guest. And then, you know, you always know when someone's awesome because even though they're not invited as a guest, they just turn up as a fan of animation anyway. And that was the thing about Swanigan. He was such a like lovely guy that really it's really hard to kind of stress how much he loved animation. Because I always described him as like the fanboy that done good, because he was a fan of animation. And, you know, back then, not that it was easy per se, but getting into the industry, the animation business was a lot more accessible. You could walk into Filmation's premises and go, here's my portfolio. You know, God forbid you could probably even achieve that these days. It's all about.
And they give you a chance to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. And that's, Duchamp will know this better than anybody, that Filmation gave opportunities for so many people. It's ridiculous. Like, you know, so many people got their start in that. And, you know, I'd say 99.7% of them are very grateful that they started there. But Swanigan started at Filmation.
One thing about Swanigan is that he grew up with Filmation stuff of the 60s. So he was a fan of the studio's work.
Yeah, imagine that, like growing up. It's like if Filmation was still going and in the kind of noughties or 2010s, we all were working at the studio, not necessarily on He-Man, but on something. We were like, we're working at our studio. Like, that must have been such a dream. And yeah, he got his foot in the door and he worked on, you know, He-Man, and then he went over to Marvel Productions and worked on Transformers, G.I. Joe. He worked at Deke on Real Ghostbusters. He was one of these guys that went from studio to studio. Oh yeah, that was when we did the. I think that was when I first met him. We did these DVD extras for the Real Ghostbusters box set that Time Life released, and Swanigan. We invited everybody that had worked on the show, and Swanigan turned up, and we did this kind of episode commentary, but we were filmed at the same time, so they could include it as an extra. That was so much fun. Like, and the other thing, like something I didn't even mention because this is a bit self-involved, but when Swanigan knew I was going to be filming with Andy Mangels on those specials, he said, he goes, "Can you bring copies of Serial Geek with you?" And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to buy the issues from you," because he was a fan of animation. And I was like, "Oh, that's crazy! Like, I'm doing this, and he's saying, 'Good job. I'm buying the magazines from you.'" But yeah, he really treasured animation art, and he hated the fact that so much of this behind the scenes material would end up in like warehouses collecting dust. He wanted all that stuff out there, and he sold on eBay big model sheet books, and yeah, he was making money out of them, but it was to get that stuff back out there so that people could go, "Oh wow, a model sheet book of, I don't know, Transformers." Actually, I don't think he did Transformers.
Hulk 1982.
There you go.
Which
featured
some really development artwork.
Like Duchamp had communicated with him more, I think, definitely more so than me over the last, I'd say, year or two, and was able to kind of they did like deals back and forth because Swanigan was like, "What have you got?" and Duchamp was like, "What have you got?" and they would go back and forth. And so
It would be like, I so wish I could watch Harlem Globetrotters cartoon, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I have that.
Yeah, there you go. So
That's cool.
that's the thing. This is a man who's worked in the industry. And he was like, "Oh, I want to watch that old cartoon," because he loved cartoons. It wasn't just a job to him. So, yeah, and like I say, he was a really lovely guy. He really loved animation. It's one of those things where it's like, oh man, like when I was actually recording a podcast with my friends, like we do this movie podcast, and on my phone it popped up, and it was Vic Dale Kelly, one of the other storyboard artists, and he said Michael Swanigan passed away, and I was like, oh man, and it kind of just sapped all my strength out. I was like, oh, it's just really sad. But like I was saying, it sounds cliched and a bit cheesy, but I would say, you know, when someone passes away, it's like, what did they leave behind? Did they leave behind a relatively decent legacy? And it's like, yeah, I think he did. You know, I mean that in a kind of a joking way. Of course he did. He left behind an amazing legacy. He got to work on all these shows that we grew up loving. It's nuts. It's just, I don't think some of these guys realize as well what an influence they had. Yeah, you were a storyboard artist, but you still visualize things. Like, and I always say to people, you know, Swanigan was the guy that gave us all those wonderful Easter eggs. Black Star in Temple of the Sun. The fact that Nepthu is a repurposed Rama Tut from Marvel Comics. That to me is still one of my favorite things of all time. The fact that Swanigan was like, I want that, because Filmation's character designs were like, oh, we're going to have Nepthu as like just a wizard with a robe, like an old man with a robe. And it's just like, Swanigan was like, how about we make him like an Egyptian kind of god? So he just looks at Rama Tut, creates that. Filmation go, maybe we should just change a few things so we don't get sued. And then we get Nepthu. And I know Nepthu's not everybody's favorite cup of tea, but I love the story behind that. And, you know, Black Star's inclusion, Warlock, A Tale of Two Cities, using all that Tarzan and the City of Gold repurposed animation, Flash Gordon, all those Filmation shows. Swanigan was like doing Easter eggs before it was like the in thing as well. Just like, I'm going to include this character from that, I'm going to include that from this. And so many other things he included just were never quite realized, because he would include all these Easter eggs and then post the storyboard stage, they just wouldn't happen. But yeah, I could talk for hours about the man. I'm not going to, but yeah, he was really good dude. And yes, it's sad that he's gone, but again, like I say, what a legacy. So good job, sir.
Absolutely.
And plus, you know, those times when he would insert characters from other properties, like that character from Rock and Roll, episode, and then the wizard from Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair.
Before the game even came out.
That was amazing. Yeah, he put this. This is the kind of somewhat bittersweet thing, is that I've worked on these my Friday night trivia videos for my YouTube channel. I've done so many in advance. And Swanigan is the subject of about 3 of them that are still yet to come. And it's like, oh, I wish he could have seen them. I know that's very kind of like slightly egocentric. It's like he knew how much, you know, I appreciate his work, but I think he would have got a kick out seeing that stuff again. But yeah, he was always including like Easter eggs that probably legally he shouldn't have, but it's just like, yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh man, I love that. Just back then, how they did all that stuff.
It was a bit of the Wild West, wasn't it? I know
it really was.
A bit of a cliche, but you just having a laugh, like what's going to work, you know? And that everything back then, especially because it was all hand drawn and stuff, you were really trying. You were throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Again, I'm throwing out all the cliches at the moment, but it was very much like, okay, we need to, like Duchamp and I have discovered over the years, the way Filmation came up with a lot of their special effects was through trying to figure out what's going to work. Like, oh, what if we did this and shine a light through the bottom of the thing and film that and put a colored gel over it? And it's like, oh, suddenly we've created this effect. And yeah, like in the storyboard department, it just sounded like a bunch of guys having a laugh. I mean, I've got one of the best things I got from Swanigan was the kind of somewhat infamous Filmation cookout book, which is what the storyboard artists all contributed to. Like, you know, the storyboard artists over the years, as you do with any office job, especially one where you're illustrating, you'd sketch and do random illustrations, and some not for the public at all, and some not for an audience lower than 18. Absolutely.
Yeah, like that certain Slimer sketch from Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's some really dodgy stuff out there, but it's hilarious because you know it was never done out of ill intent or hate. It was just like, I'm going to make some people laugh in the office. I've got this book called the Filmation Cookout Book, and it's Swanigan used to sell them at PowerCon, but they were kind of a bit hard to come by. But they, yeah, it's just page after page of all these sketches, like, yeah, just things under Orko's robe, and yeah, it's just there are silly sketches, and then there are stuff that's like, oh, I could never put this out in the world. But yeah, it's he just loved everything about the animation world of animation, the industry itself. So yeah, a great loss, but like I say again, legacy. It's all about legacy.
That cookout book you were talking about, where was that first available at?
I think Swanigan used to sell them himself because he created. Because initially it was just for the people at Filmation, but Swanigan scanned all the pages and got it bound in a. I'll just go and grab it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're available. Like if there were any way to get any, I would love to put that in my art.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Yeah, that's what I was curious. I mean,
that's what it is.
Something that, can we still make maybe an eBay thing? Do you know how many of those were made, or is this really limited?
It was like, yeah, it was. I love this. The first page I open it on, that's amazing. Learn to storyboard the Mike Swanigan way, and it's just like it's hard to see in these illustrations unless you look, and it's just like, I guess him taking the piss out of himself or someone taking the piss out of him. Sorry, there it is. But it's just they have all these gags and just there's a lot of like in jokes and stuff, and yeah, the stuff that I'm trying to find something that's I could probably show. There was one with, hang on a second.
Is it a couple hundred pages, would you say? How many pages?
Oh, it's quite thick.
Oh, that's thick. Okay.
Yeah, there's like lots of gags where they're kind of taking the piss out of themselves.
Is that sketch
random stuff like that?
Is that sketch with Magnum?
I like that.
With
I like
Magnum gum inside that. The double-edged sword.
Oh yeah, that's in here. Where is that? Yeah, that was the one where they were told, oh, there's like the random. It's hard to make out what this is, but this is like Barry Caldwell's Spydra design. So that's his initial Spydra. But what that is a reverse of how her costume looks, because Caldwell had designed her to be wearing this like skimpy number that rides up her crotch. So he's done the reverse where it's just riding up her back. It's just like, yeah. But just there's so many sketches in here, and like, yeah, there was the one where they were told you can't. They were told you can't use.
The ray gun shouldn't look like a gun.
Yeah. And stuff like this, where it's like, again, just them taking the mickey out of themselves.
Which
it's just like nobody liked the laughing stock and just Himagoo.
See, look at this. There's other people that did the crossover stuff like me. See, look at that. How about that?
Himagoo. Like me, I'm so self-absorbed.
I am. I'm really self-absorbed. I'm gonna make Himagoo now. Damn it. No,
don't.
No, don't. No,
but yeah, cool. you get the idea. There's loads of stuff in there, and it's like I've scanned a bunch of things and I want to showcase over time. But yeah, it's a really good book. And the other book, obviously, that Swanigan did was the Animation by Filmation book, which was one of those early kind of, prior to the internet, one of those early guides to every Filmation show that they knew of at the time. It was, again, that just showed you his love letter to how much he loved Filmation and working there. When it closed down, he was like, yeah, like so many, was devastated. And so that was kind of like him paying tribute to it, saying like, let's catalog everything that Filmation did, and it's a ridiculously big book full of detail.
Yeah, so not so accurate, but then it was compiled before the internet. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that was actually Swanigan's book was when I first figured out the order of episodes, at least initially, because I remember like looking at a cell and then looking in the book, and I just remember going 1, 2, 3, 4, and I realized that this cell I had of Teela, this tiny little cell, or tiny on the cell, was from, I was like,
It says 30 at the bottom. This is the 30th episode. I was like, oh my God, I've just cracked the code. Like nobody knew at the time, you know, how you could identify what an episode of Cell was from. I was like, I've just figured it out. So yeah, again, Swanigan, you know, helping out without even knowing at the time. But yeah, it was a pleasure knowing the guy. And it's just, it's just a shame he's not around to, you know, I think he would have enjoyed so much of what is probably on the horizon in terms of, but you know, celebrating animation and stuff like that.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So that was our little tribute to Airbuds and Michael Swanigan.
What is Nathan playing?
I had my mic muted because Fedmon had mentioned, I have a new dog, and I guess Emily went to go take a shower, and this dog didn't know that I was here in the room and heard me, and then that's why you heard the barking, because she was like, you're Friday.
Friday, all right. How old and what breed and what's his name?
Joe, don't you look at his stories?
No,
he showed the dog.
I didn't see.
He never looks at any of my Facebook
You didn't pay attention to Nathan. No. You're friends, Joe. How could you?
No, but I ain't been on Facebook much, and I was not to sound. God damn it! You got to mute Ren because I know what's gonna happen when I say this. Not to sound self-absorbed, but I did show when I was promoting my Art the Clown, and then the guy who got Art the Clown took it to a convention in his area this weekend, and he took it to the actor David Thornton, and he signed it. He looked at it. He sent me a video of it. It was real cool. And then one of the producers from there contacted me. I'll be in contact with him next week. So that's some cool shit. But
so Joe's gonna be in Terrifier 4.
Joe is our Terrifier every week.
Ain't I? Oh shit! I'm pretty good.
But don't know how old she is, but
she okay.
I think anywhere between. I think they think she's 8. And she's
a rescue?
She's a Rottweiler, but she's very sweet and nice. Aside from, she didn't know that I was. She saw that I was home, but I guess she wasn't paying attention when I came in here and just heard me talk and was like, "Hey, wait a minute, you're home!" Oh, and then started barking.
And her name?
Ginger. No, her name's Ginger. It's not the best, but that's what she knows. She knows that name over this amount of time.
What the name was beforehand?
Yeah, so we're just kind of stuck with that. I'm not the biggest fan of the name, but yeah. So,
listen. When a dog is in menopause, you can't change her name.
That's the quote of the episode.
Quote
of the episode right
long
there.
Fucking time.
We'll just have that edit. Yeah. Joe, put that on, or Ren, put it on your TeePublic store.
No problem.
All right. Well, we'll move on here to the watch party that we're gonna do, and this is The Rock people from She-Ra, and
prepare your hot
and I did watch it earlier, so shut up, Joe.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Joe didn't even say anything.
No, what I like about this is with James being here, just to hear every bit of information he's gonna say.
I haven't seen this episode in about 10 years, so I'm a bit out of. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Nathan, you're going to be the one to give a countdown, but go ahead, Tucson.
No, James, just prepare those headphones so you can follow the episode, so you don't get lost.
I feel like Dushan's put something naughty in it.
No, nothing.
No. You can hear the smile cracking.
Yeah, I know
it's a German remaster. Nothing special.
A German
He's put something in it. He's put something else.
Oh, you know he has.
And I found Lookie. This is the first time I've ever seen Lookie in an actual episode. And I saw that little motherfucker today, and I was like, damn it.
So it's taking your whole life to find him one fucking time. What an idiot. All right, when you're
fucking hate him.
You give the countdown.
All right.
I hate him almost as much as I hate you.
That's close.
Almost.
Link is down below for everyone that's watching as well. So if you got that loaded up, all of you here have it loaded up with this.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
Hey, I wonder if I could put this in my other ear so I can listen.
Shut your ass up.
Don't do anything. You'll break it.
Oh, wait, no, I'm going to give it a shot. Give me a second. I think I could do this.
Everything's gonna freeze.
No. I think I can make it work.
Yeah, now we gotta. Well, let's all just
It's
keep
work.
an ear. We'll keep an ear out for what Deucin has done to manipulate the audio.
No, it's all great.
He's going to do some shit at the end, probably. And I hope it's nothing to upset me, because he's always doing something to upset me. But we'll find.
Nobody gives a fuck about you, Joe.
I bet he's done like some AI voice work, and so suddenly someone sounds like Joe is the voice of someone.
No.
That sounds guilty as shit, dude.
I bet it's the. I bet he's done something to the moral segment. I bet you the moral segment's been fucked with. So we've got to wait 20-something minutes. Okay.
Well, this looks so clean and clear. This is awesome.
Yeah, looks
Yeah,
good.
it is pretty nice.
Yeah,
Tell that to some of the people
online.
online who say that this is a travesty and that I and others should be ashamed of ourselves.
Oh, God, those fuckbags, yeah.
This is what I say to those people. Can I do that on the thing? That's what I say to those people.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Straight from James.
So you haven't watched this in 10 years? You said, James?
It's been something like that. It's been a long time. I remember bits and pieces of it. Well, obviously it was the Rock people. When I was a kid, though, I remember because I kind of checked out of She-Ra. I don't know about you guys, but I watched She-Ra here and there. But usually when I see in the TV listings that in today's episode He-Man appears, I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch it then. But
Yeah.
so I didn't remember hearing. I remember the UK comic in the letters page, someone saying. Blah blah blah. In the Rock People episode of She-Ra, and I was like, the Rock People were in She-Ra, because I just never knew they appeared in the cartoon. So it wasn't until, God, 96 when I was doing the early days of tape trading, and someone sent me this episode. And I was like, oh, I get to see the Rock People, and then it turns out they're in 2 episodes. Yeah, this and the Light of the Crystal. But it was really interesting because obviously they. We're a little too. The weird thing about She-Ra production is it overlapped with He-Man's second season, but not enough that you could include the Rock People, which is a shame because I think it would have been great to see them on Eternia. But there's something really cool about their addition in this episode because they, you've got the rebels that are the oppressed, and the Rock People can really help them out, but the Rock People choose not to. So you got this. I don't think that would have worked on Eternia. Because the Rock People would have just turned up and gone like, "We're with you, He-Man." Just be like, "Oh." For some reason, I always love Madame Raz's description of her friend, just by the name Rigolo. I was like, "What the fuck is a Rigolo? What does he look like?" Just like she wanders into these deepest, darkest woods of Etheria, and it's like, "All right, lady, I'm Rigolo." It's like, what are you doing in there, Rigolo? Put some clothes on, Rigolo. So I'd love to know what Rigolo's thing is.
He's Joe Amato out there flashing people in the woods like,
oh, Rigolo.
I got a scroll for you.
So nothing in any concept arts or shit like that from Filmation where they ever maybe could have showed something like that, huh?
No, I don't think they would have showed a naked Rigolo. What was that looky that popped up, or did I just have I just seen some information?
You're saying to watch the episode.
Oh man, sorry, I'm just seeing.
There's
things.
Looky, I just seen him.
No.
Yeah, he was right there.
That's the.
Is there a laugh track?
What?
Yeah, I
Did
guess.
sound like a laugh
laugh
track.
track.
What the hell was that?
You knew that he was going to do something with it.
It was very low, but as Bo was talking, there was a fucking laugh track in the back.
It's so weird. It's almost
That
like
got me
I'm too afraid to
listening to it more.
talk because I don't know what else Dushan has done to the episode.
Oh, there's going to be more stuff, I would imagine.
It was super subtle.
Yeah, because
I was
he
like-
sent me the link yesterday, and he was like, "Wait to share this until we get going." I'm like, "All right, what did you do?" He's like, "You just have to watch it." So I started watching the intro, and I'm like, "All right, where's the stuff?" He's like, "Oh, you got to watch the whole thing." I'm like, "Fuck, all right."
Mm.
But I didn't watch this one. I watched the official channel upload a couple days ago.
So, this is like the Valley of. You put a laugh track in. This is so weird.
You hear
Can't
it?
talk over it.
It's
I
like
didn't do anything.
This is surreal. You put a laugh track on.
What? It was always there.
Yeah, so for those unfamiliar, that the name of that giant dinosaur, you can't really hear it in the dialogue, but his name is King Liz, which I think is a pretty cool name for a giant dinosaur with a crown of bones. Oh, and Bow's line here is one of my favorites, which is my aching bowstring, I think. Yes, my aching bowstring.
With a laugh track.
I always just dig that line. I was like, yep, that's one of my favorites. I'm so scared that there's going to be more laughter that I'm just going to talk over. And like ruin all of Dushan's hard work. Oh, the other thing, the bizarre thing about this whole scene is that this is obviously taking place in the Valley of the Lost. And if you remember, like in, God, what was it, She-Ra Unchained, the Valley of the Lost was like this big whole thing of like no one returns from there. It's like, you know, no one ever comes back from the Valley of the Lost. And here they're just kind of walking through it as if, oh, it's like, you know, we've got to fight a monster, but yeah, we'll be okay. And then in other episodes, I think it's, God, Birds of a Feather. They go to the Valley of the Lost and they just come back. And it's like, why is it called the Valley of the Lost if people just come back from it? That should be the Valley of the, you know, slightly lost, but eventually found. So yeah, it is odd that they come up with these locations but can't really kind of fulfill them.
Maybe
Oh,
it's like an outer rim of the valley. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
so
okay, I'll
dangerous.
go with that. It's nice design anyway with the giant kind of rock structures, but wasn't Rock-On as well? Like I'm trying to remember here. At one point, he was called Flint as well.
Yeah.
I think Rock-On in the scripts, the early scripts, was called Flint. Oh, Dushan, you're a big fan of the newspaper strip. They
What a twerk. Jesus,
what's
dude.
going on with this episode?
Torque.
So that's
gotta
why
be
you
barely
want.
talking
That's
'cause I
why
just
you
wanna-
wanted me to send you that sound clip, Jason.
Yes.
It's like
I feel
just wanna
bad
listen
though
to
because
this.
like we're the only ones hearing this because obviously anybody.
Yeah.
Can people see
Yeah,
this
it's just
in the
us.
chat?
It's just
Yeah, they have the link.
Oh,
the
they do
link,
have
the
the
link for this is in the
Mm.
description. So if they
Oh, okay,
they can
yeah.
watch it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sure, hope so.
So you guys were acting up on my
Oh, for fuck's
laptop
sake! What's
for
going on?
quite a
There's a
while.
naked Lookie in the background.
Ah.
Ah, shit.
Damn it.
There's Loki. You found
Oh.
Loki.
Yeah, Red found him again. How about that?
Yeah. He's not supposed to be in there twice.
So so Dushan's fucked with the audio and the visuals. Actually, did you mess with the glow as well?
No.
Okay, the glow is
Why
actually
would I?
Filmations.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, because that looks really nice. So yeah, as I was saying, like the newspaper strip that had, I think, Rock-On and Granitor were the children of Stondar or something.
Yeah, that was I think that was the
Oh,
weird
is that
twist in it.
Transformer sounds? Oh my god.
What? The Transformers.
This is like my worst nightmare. It's like someone just going, "Hey, remember that thing you haven't seen in 10 years?
That's always
Here's
been
how-
there. It's always
Here it
been
is,
like
but
this.
completely
Yeah.
fucked."
That's
Is there
great,
anything
Jason.
from
I'm
the
glad you
darkness?
did the Transformers noises thing. I will say I do prior to that, I do like that face to face.
Oh, the standoff is
Yeah,
great.
the standoff's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, oh, because the other thing as well is like you don't. This is probably outside of, oh my goodness, into Etheria, the first appearance of the Horde. This is probably the most active the Horde are in terms of battle, because Leech actually does stuff, as you can see. He's like, you know, having a go at Bo. Scorpia is in it, so it's because usually like they come and go, but you've got all of the Horde members here. Grizzlor running away. Man, Leech was so underused. It's ridiculous.
Leech sucks.
Hey, see what he did there.
And now they're trying to murder him.
Well, there's a really kind of, I remember it's like a really quick shot where I think they let go of Leech and he collides into, again, I haven't seen this in ages, I think he collides into, Grizzlor. It's like, it's actually really well done. It's like, whoa. That is a good shot.
And she gets knocked out.
It's that easy.
So newspaper strips.
It is now, yeah. Yeah, it's just really weird that like Granita was, I don't think she was ever anything to do with Mattel, was she? It was just Filmation adding a female rock person. So
yeah, because usually what you see on Motherships is Mattel toy. At this point,
that's right. Yeah,
They would ensure to label who did what.
Yeah, it's with this. It's just like they just seem almost like they missed out on a trick. I'm sure we'd have all bought a Granita toy.
Oh, I remember after seeing this, I was waiting. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get a Granita." I was really excited. Never happened, but I thought it was. I remember being.
Have you ever made a custom of Granita?
No, I did the pink one from the mini comic that I called Cortina. I gave her own name. And then people ripping it off and pissed off. Ren quit being a hater.
I remember seeing I remember seeing a Granita custom years ago. It was really good because they did all the packaging, much like yourself. What did you name the pink one? Did you give her a name?
Cortina. Because like the
cool.
pink
like
quartz. So, yeah. And then there was a couple other customizers started doing it, and they were saying Cortina. It's like, no, that's not an official name. I did that. And they're like, oh, sorry, I'll call her something else.
Oh yeah. Now all of a sudden Mattel is like,
I was going to say,
I have this new idea.
Oh, did you say? Oh no, I was going to say something, and then I thought probably shouldn't say that publicly. So.
No, might not want to. I guess whatever.
I mean, not to sound terrible. I'll jump back into the commentary, but there's so much I see now on eBay that I'm like, is that official or a fan custom or a fan comic? And it's like, oh, so yeah, it's. I never thought I'd get to a point in my life where I don't even know that a character is from He-Man. And the Master Universe toy line, it's like
I get it.
Splajar. I'm like, who the fuck is Splajar? And granted, I just made up Splajar. But
I get it. Man.
Who are these guys?
How about Frogmonger?
Frogmonger. Oh, that is real, isn't it? Oh,
yes.
Pretty much proving James's point right there.
For a second, I was like, Frogmonger.
His special power is riling up the French.
Oh wow!
I was actually prepping for an episode commentary I'm going to do on oh my goodness, the 1966 Marvel Superheroes show, and it was The Girl from Cap's Past, which features one of my favorite villains, Batroc the Leaper. And I was reading about Batroc the Leaper, and it was like, oh, he was named Batroc because it's a breed of frog, and so it was Stan Lee and Jack Kirby kind of giving it to the French. I was just like, oh yeah.
Okay.
I feel bad saying Batroc the Leaper now, but yeah. So anyway, back to She-Ra. Dushan, have you added anything? Like, does Bo's genitalia fall out?
You all missed something.
Oh, we missed something.
Wait, did that sound like
you all have to later rewatch it.
Was that the lift-off sound they did when they took off?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You've done so much shit in this, I don't even know.
You missed a character.
Oh, he
Oh,
put a
damn.
character in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Blue
we'll
Shane's gone
catch it on the
cray-cray.
replay.
So where are we going now? Oh, yeah, they're going to the Horde. Fright Zone, yes.
Going to get rock on.
Well, it's I
They ain't
remember,
gonna
like,
get the rock on.
the problem is that these guys seem so indestructible. That's the slight problem with this story. It's like,
But they don't want to fight.
yeah,
So
this is a great shot.
So Ethereans just have to remain enslaved. So
Yeah, I'm with James
have
though.
to, you have to walk away from a fight. You don't understand people. So what if the
But
Horde
once
wants
we
to know the
once we realize that they're so tough, how did Rakan get captured so easily?
Well, and even in
why
this
did he allow them
situation,
to hold him?
in this situation, they're saying like, oh, we don't want to fight, we don't want violence. It's like, yeah, but you guys could literally just break his bonds and you could all take off back into space.
Yeah.
And it's
You
always
won't
one of
tell
those.
me?
Like, go on.
So why is Hordak so interested in their propulsion when the
Well, I was
Horde
gonna
is
say,
able
like-
to travel through dimensions,
Yeah, he can travel to Eternia. He's got a Horde fleet, a whole army behind him.
intergalactic, interdimensional
Yeah.
travel? You already have all that, and you want what Flying Rocks one have?
Yeah, he's like, tell me the secret of your ability to fly in space, and it's like, why do you need it? I do like the fact that they are kind of ridiculously like badass fighters, though, as in they just hold out their hand and everybody just goes.
Mhm.
Mind you, they're fighting Horde troopers, which I think all you need is a hand, isn't it? Really.
They just casually give people the stiff arm and they fly across the room.
Yeah, exactly. It's like talk to the hand. It's like, okay. And look here, it's just like you could have done this earlier and just kind of got this over with. Oh, she melts them, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's quite horrific.
Oh, what have you done? Did they do the Wilhelm scream?
It doesn't
Oh,
even seem painful though.
Let's all pay attention here.
That's what you should put the laugh track in.
No, it's not funny.
Or the Wizard of Oz, I'm melting.
Yeah.
The way she slowly turned her head, it's like, yeah, water bow.
I tell you what, when I first watched it earlier, I was like, man, Bo is trying to get some of She-Ra. He was like, I wanted some time alone. and Adora was like, yeah, whatever, man.
They like Bo was one of those characters that you could write. Certain writers got him. I mean, I think this is Larry DiTilio writing this episode.
Yeah.
He could write a great Bo, but I think Bob Ford got Bo the best because he did the whole. Do you remember in She-Ra Unchained when Bo's doing all that bravado to Prince Adam? You know, good fortune, speed you on your mission, and Adam's like, "Yeah, thanks. Okay, I'm just going to leave now."
Mhm.
And then
There goes Catcher.
Bo was it in For Want of a Horse? She-Ra describes Bo as one of my favorite lines. She describes Bo as a you brave, wonderful fool, and I was like, that is Bo.
Look at the melting.
Oh, they're melting. God.
Are you adding that sound effect, Deuce? In the
What?
Yes.
It's so
horrific scene.
bizarre. It's like Mystery Science Theater version of.
Yeah.
The
the
laugh
laugh
track.
track again.
And Hordak is about to get defeated.
Oh yeah, Stone Dog whoops him there, doesn't he?
Yeah, watch.
Nice transformation.
The transformation.
The Wilhelm scream. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. You had blood. You had blood. to
Did you
his
see that?
eyes.
Even bloody nose.
What? He's defeated.
Oh Lord! You know, the scary thing is probably someone watching this is downloading it and he's going to upload
thinks
this, and
it's
now this will
real.
become the official one that Oh,
He's taking,
I
but
think
somehow making it cool.
I think going forward, anytime we
Do
do
more.
watch parties, we need Dewson's director's cut of these.
I was gonna say you were
terrified.
right in my head. Do it every
These
time.
were
You gotta
fun.
add some shit.
But these are the original versions. What are you people talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We'll get your downloads of the original version.
Anyway, Tyler is probably sitting in his bed, going like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Oh man, you can't fuck with Teela's Quest. Oh, that's gonna be.
No, I would never. Hey,
Sounds like it's on his list now.
Yeah, that's like he's already planning it, I think. Oh yeah, we got the Argo of the trolls.
So was King Argo ever on a Master of the Universe episode or just She-Ra?
No, he was purely She-Ra.
yeah,
He was in
he's native.
yeah, the episodes.
Okay.
Was it Crystal Castle and Troll's Dream, and then this little cameo. So he turns up a couple of times.
Okay.
Look how many there are of them. It's like there's enough of them to liberate Etheria, but violence is bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you've got this whole army of people that could destroy, like wipe out the horde.
Barely
loads of
touch
pressure.
anybody and fucking
In a
Yeah.
day, yeah.
beat them up.
Hey, and now the moral
All right.
segment.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's see
here
what,
we are.
let's see what he
Let's
did
see.
here.
What's he gonna do? Right, okay, he's got his clothes on.
He's gonna do something stupid. I was waiting for him to fall.
He's still fully clothed.
Did he fart?
No.
Yes, he did.
Usually doesn't solve anything.
No, you didn't do it.
Oh, no fighting ain't
That was
good.
actually good.
What the hell is that?
That was
Find that-
Dushan's
that's-
punchline. You know, that they said.
Was that the slime pig or whatever he was fighting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah,
That's-
violence never solves anything. It cuts to beating the shit out of Slime Pig. That's good.
That was good.
Oh, Filmation, you hypocrites.
Oh shit. That was a good episode though.
Yeah, rolling credit. No, I'm still waiting to see if he did anything else too at the end here.
Well,
Oh, I
that
clicked
wasn't
it
the
off.
right music at the end, was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it turned into. I bookmarked that so I can watch that back later and
Yeah.
get even more perplexed.
Well, now that we have watched that together, out of 10, what would each of you give this episode? Joe, we'll start with you first since you seem to kind of be the quietest out of the bunch.
I was enjoying it, but no, I give it an 8. I enjoyed that. It was a good episode. I remember when watching as a kid. Yeah, when I did see Granada, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have her. Of course, I was thinking, man, it'd be nice to see them fight, but I know how they're always supposed to be about peace, and I understand, what the episode was and the morals.
So that didn't Dirk you who used to bite people's fingers off.
But that's different. When I didn't bite his whole finger off, it was just this chunk right here. That's it. It was a chunk. Oh, goddamn it! Don't bypass. Go to somebody else.
Well, James, you're the guest of honor. What would you give this out of 10?
I've got to try and remember what I gave it in the book. Oh, Christ. Otherwise, it's going to be, if I give it too low or too high, it's like, did I match the book? It's obviously, regardless of the additions that Dushan put in, it's still a really good
Original
episode.
version.
With the original version that we just watched. I think my only problem is with the whole Valley of the Lost thing. But I don't know. I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. That sounds about
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Free
I'll
to
give it a
ask
7
Bren.
out of 10.
Well, JSP had put up here, has James's 7 out of 10 rating of this
Oh, there
episode
you go.
changed since the episode,
Oh,
guys?
then there you go.
There you go.
Well, hasn't changed at all. All right, Ren, what do you give it out of 10?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
I want to
that's fair.
say that this earlier was the first time I'd ever seen this episode. I didn't watch a lot of She-Ra when I was coming up, and so it was pretty cool. It was entertaining, I suppose. And but Deuce's, it was cool waiting for the stuff to happen.
Yeah.
So that raised up the bar. for
So
me.
a 6 out of 10 for their original version, but Deucen's cut did the.
Oh, it's like an 8.
Okay.
I was saying you were doing the Dushan version as well.
Well, speaking
Original.
of Dushin, what do you give it, Dushin?
4 out of 10.
Wow. All right.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, because like the episode just the story has just too many logistical problems for it to be any higher.
I can
Bear
see.
in mind, this guy likes She-Demon of Phantos, so
Because it's a cool episode.
What about you, Nathan? What do you give it?
Joe, I'm with you. I'll give it. I'll be on the higher end of the scale here. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was fun. The Dushin cut, I give a
the
9.5.
Dushan cut. Is this?
Yeah, the chat, we got a 4, we got some 10s. And
Yeah,
8s,
I just
10s.
got a message from Tyler. He
Rob-
gives it 2 out of 10.
Tyler.
Rebecca gave it a 9 out of 10. She wanted me to let you guys know she gave it a 9 out of
Okay.
10.
So if we,
Tyler apparently hates this episode and says, "Fuck James for hating She-Demon of Phantos."
That's fair.
Yeah.
I fuck myself too.
An 8, a 7, a
7,
6,
a
a
6,
4, and a
4.
9 from Rebecca.
so
And 2
what
from Tyler.
no, Tyler didn't give it a 2.
Yes, he did.
No, no, Tyler was the one that suggested the
Dushan is such
episode
a naughty
16,
boy.
be put on the
25,
schedule.
31,
Yeah.
38, 42, 6 into
What are
42,
you-
so about 7. A 7. So that averages a 7.
Averages
You got
out to about a
average.
7 out of 10. All
What the
Yeah.
hell are
Yep,
you
just-
doing, Joe?
Yeah, I'm doing math.
Nobody
I've
cares
always
about
been
your
good at
crackpot
math.
math.
Oh,
you're only
God,
doing
Word.
math too.
Math.
God
Okay,
damn
I
it.
see
Oh, I
that.
can't say it again. I almost said it again by accident, but how's it go? There's James. There, all right. We can get to the chat now. If you guys have any questions in the chat, be sure to pop them in right now. We'll get to anything. And how you doing, Carrie Ann?
Before we
She
get
just
to
joined us
any
here in the chat.
questions, I want to say something about Friday's episode with Tyler and Nathan.
Oh, we're Street Fighter, Jean-Claude Dam's.
Yeah.
Damn
So
Street
I
Fighter.
watched it again on you guys' recommendation. You know, it sucked still. It was garbage. It was still trash. And that's it.
Okay.
Just wanted to say I hate you
I
for
do-
making me
guys-
lose those fucking.
Not to
you
get
know, I fell
nerdy
asleep
about
on the
it.
shit and then had to watch it again the next day.
Oh, that's all on you at that point. What were you gonna say, James?
I was going to say, like, I remember, so back when that came out, my friends and I were like huge, like, martial arts fans at the time. We're big into Jackie Chan movies, like a lot of Jackie Chan's Golden Harvest movies from the late 80s, like Armor
Yeah.
of God, Wheels on Meals, Dragons Forever, all that stuff. Loved all those movies. Just fantastic. So hearing that there was going to be a Street Fighter film, you were kind of, and also that Jackie Chan had done that wonderful scene in City Hunter, which I'm sure everyone's seen by now, like where he and his opponent turn into like the characters from Street Fighter. Well, primarily Ken and Jackie Chan is Chun-Li and E Honda. So it's a great scene. But when you saw that, it was like, wow, they can actually do this with like special effects. And bear in mind, we're talking special effects from about 92, 93. And then when we knew a big Hollywood movie was happening, it was like, oh my God, Street Fighter, this is going to be amazing. And I just remember like someone got like, you know, back then, 94, gotten like an illegal, even though we were going to the cinema, someone just acquired an illegal copy. And we all sat down and watched it. And bear in mind, we were such hardcore Street Fighter 2 fans. Like, you know,
Yeah, me too.
Champion Edition,
Me
Hyper
too.
Turbo, whatever you
Yep.
want to call it.
Super Street Fighter 2, Turbo, all that.
Super Street
Yeah.
Fighter. I mean, when Super Street Fighter 2 came out, my friends and I, there was this big arcade in London, and we all, like on the Friday, we'd all plan, right, we're going to head into town, like central London, Oxford Street, because this arcade had 8 linked up
Wow.
Super Street Fighter 2 units. So we all went down there because it's the first time you were seeing Fei Long, T-Hawk, DJ, and Cammy. And it was like, oh my God, we've got to see. We all went down there, and this arcade, there were hundreds of people just trying to we managed to see it. And we're like, oh my God, they've changed the voices. And it's like, you know, round 1, fight. Everything was different and new, and it was so exciting.
Mhm.
And the movie was so disappointing. We were so
You ain't
gutted.
shitting.
But no, this my point though. It's like I went back and rewatched it. I want to say about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was one of those things where you kind of look at it with a different set of eyes, and you go, okay, I can see what they were trying to do. Don't get me wrong. We wanted that. Do you remember that Street Fighter anime they did around the same time, like 94?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Glorious.
yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
want that, But the problem is Hollywood isn't going to give you that. We can say this about so much stuff. I mean, maybe these days you'd get an accurate-ish Street Fighter movie, but back then you just weren't going to get it. So looking back, it's like, I understand what they did. It's not my cup of tea. I'm being very diplomatic, aren't I? But there was, I mean, there's some good stuff in there. There were just some hilariously bad stuff. I mean, for me, I love old Raul Julia as an actor. He's like one of my favorite actors. One of my favorite movies, The Gumball Rally. Loved him as an actor. Addams Family, etc. For that to be his last role, it's like, oh man. But he's great in it. He is really good as M. Bison. He's just hamming up, and he's like classically trained.
He did it for his kids.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, that is the story, isn't it?
I need to go back to it with the eyes of Nathan and Tyler saying, if you kind of look at it as a G.I. Joe movie, even though I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm starting to learn of trying to learn G.I. Joe, so that's how I have to, because as a Street Fighter fan, I hated that movie. I was like, this movie should not have revolved around Guile. It should have been about Ryu and his journey. That's what it Oh, go ahead.
No, that's exactly what we were talking about on Friday. Is that's because as a kid, I was equally as disappointed walking out of the theater. That's how I felt. But watching it later, having watched other movies that aren't super spectacular, and much like James said, if you sort of just set that expectation, see what they were trying to do, but then also look at it sort of as a live action G.I. Joe movie just brought to life, it's like, you know what? Yeah, this does sort of connect to me in a better way. Plus, Ren, by the way, I only gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. So it's not like I was saying that like this is the best thing ever made.
I can't revisit it. I still haven't revisited it. I hated that movie so much that I've never wanted to watch it.
I mean, tomorrow
it still has some moments where I laugh out loud when my favorite was suddenly towards the end. It was obviously they were going, Christ, we need to get some of these characters in. So suddenly Dalsim has a bald head, Dr. Dalsim.
For no reason.
And Blanca comes out and he's like green with ginger hair, like, all right. And it's just like, what's going on?
And that's what we mentioned on Friday, is that those are the biggest offenders for us, no matter what. Anytime we watch it and seeing the terrible makeup job, it's like, you guys could have done a little bit better.
Have you seen that? There was an awesome video I saw a few years back on YouTube where someone had added the music and sound effects during the fights, but there's some great, like, really comedic moments. Like, remember that bit when Jean-Claude as Guile does the punch, and then it's like, and you see his arm, and it's almost with the American flag.
Yep.
They're having this fight, and he goes, and it goes USA.
That's awesome.
It's such a good video because like they use all the music, and it works in some instances where you're like, maybe they should have gone with these sound effects. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like I think it is. I'm not going to say it's a cult classic, but there is an audience. At least over here in the UK, there is definitely an audience for it. That if you were to show it at a cinema that holds maybe like, I don't know, a few hundred people, you would get it fully booked.
I think people are kind of coming around to it a little bit.
You need to realize that it was made for new fans.
Well, it was made for a broader audience, wasn't it?
No, for new fans, modern audience, not you people who are stuck in the past, very engrossed into nostalgic glasses.
It wasn't in the past. It was literally as it was happening. It was.
No. New fans, new audience.
Then we got a Saturn version of that. And PlayStation, I think, or some shit. And that at least was kind of enjoyable, but the movie, woof. Got any questions?
I once again, I know I props to Ren for actually watching it again and giving it a fair shake and just being like, you know what? Yeah, I didn't like it. But Joe, you should watch it again just to see if anything's changed for you.
I don't think Joe has Netflix.
I thought he did.
But I'm sure I could stream it somewhere. I could find it, but I'll find it.
Well, it's leaving Netflix tomorrow.
Yeah, we know a guy.
Yeah, we know a guy.
But the animated movie, much like we said on Friday, is something we're going to talk about probably in November with all of us talking about.
That's fucking perfection.
Yeah.
And that's available in HD now.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's on. Yeah,
Discotheque Media released it.
Yeah, there's a 4K of it. I thought about picking it up, replace my crusty ass DVD that I have.
I remember buying that on VHS. I was so excited.
I still got my VHS of that. Yep.
I remember the advertisements for that all over the place. Just you would find it in just
I
magazines,
remember
video
there
game
the little
magazines.
circle on it, the unrated one and the other
Yeah.
one. There was two. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
both. Yeah,
Yeah, my one had the Chun-Li shower scene, was it?
shower
She was-
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
Oh,
even
yeah.
bad. It's like Jesus Christ, that made it to where it was a whole. It's like
That was the best fight in the whole series, I think.
calm down
There it
there,
is.
James.
There it
Oh, no,
is.
Reverend.
He said Chun-Li was so moist.
So here's a question from Gavin. Joe, have you ever had a custom request that you denied? And Nathan, can I read the Joe story that he sent my way? So I can read that, but Joe, and you don't have to mention names, but I
No, I
guess you
won't
could say maybe
mention-
the amount of times, or if you could say potentially what it was.
There's two in particular.
Beast
One,
Man.
it was no, it was something that was too graphic for me. I was like, no, I can't do that type of stuff. And it was like, well, I wouldn't share it anywhere. I was like, no, I can't take that chance of me. Yeah, basically something along those lines of a He-Man figure and a Tila figure. And it's like, no, I can't do that. And then I've had a couple people saying, like for political stuff, I was like, no, I don't touch politics, so I'm not making
Yeah,
any
good for you,
political
man.
figures. Yeah, so that's the stuff that
God.
I've avoided. I don't do that type of stuff.
Oh no! Now my head's starting to think. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh man,
wait.
someone wanted a Master Universe custom of that. Ugh.
Joe, red or blue?
Both, and I don't do either. I just don't do politics. I don't do politics. I don't
Politics?
do that shit.
He
Politics.
doesn't do
No, but I don't
politics
do
so much they
politics.
pronounce it politics.
He can't
Yes.
even pronounce it.
No, I can't. That's what I mean. I can't pronounce. I do not do that stuff. So yeah. So
says the man completely dressed in red.
I never voted for Donald
Oh, yeah.
Trump.
Didn't think about that.
I never voted for Donald Trump.
Hey, I had black the week before. I had
That's
blue
true.
the
Yeah.
week before.
He's representing.
so,
He's representing.
yeah.
So
Look at his arms.
here is the story that I will try to read. It was
What is this? Sorry.
it's just a story that Gavin wrote here. So
Okay.
it's probably I think last time was AI. He's saying allegedly this is all handwritten, but much like Deuce in here, you can't really. I'm like, how am I supposed to take this? Be saying this is the original version. There's bloody noses and sound effects from other cartoons, but it was a brisk and somewhat stormy night where the moon shined like a lighthouse and the rain danced like entranced lovers. Amidst the whistling of the wind and the chaotic beauty of the storm, James should be reading this, not me, was a buzzing light from a nearby Burger King, home of the fucking Whopper and stuff. Inside sat a couple of friends who had a meetup to discuss their most bodacious podcast, Fans of Power. There was Juicy Joe Amato. We're going to start calling you Juicy Joe Amato now.
Oh my
good.
god.
I'm gonna listen. I don't know if I'm included in this, but I'm gonna hold my comments until I hear what the fuck I'm called.
All right, here we
I'm
go.
afraid now.
I know you're in here. I see your name. All right, so
God.
there was Juicy Joe Amato, who had an orgy of cholesterol in the form of a triple Whopper with the chicken patty, fries, bacon sausage, and onion rings all thrown on top of it. Next to him was the illustrious Ren, each pencil stroke a bolt of genius as the spirits of
Oh.
the Renaissance artist flowed through his veins.
Yeah, he was drawing
Thank you.
jaws. He was having an orgy.
With a sandwich.
Across from the table sat Nathan Kennedy, whose locks were flowing through the slick breeze of the indoor AC while sipping on a cold one. I don't think I could drink alcohol in a Burger King. They would probably kick me out, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
but look at what Joe is doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Joe's making love
Yeah.
to a burger.
Yeah.
Cold table.
Next to him was who many considered a god walking the earth. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Tyler, I'm gonna fuck this up. Testosterone
Testicular.
Tequilosaurus.
Baker, who was not amused with the petty mortal fast food and opted for a salad with the most deductible grilled chicken sandwich. I don't even think he'd eat that. As they were eating and laughing and hugging, that must have been Joe and Ren. A heartbreaking sight walked through the door. It was a family of 5, 2 parents and 3 children whose eyes were bigger than their stomach. As they made their way to the counter, the father, with a shaking hand from fatigue, put what change he had. It's not much, said the father, but we would humbly appreciate just enough for us struggling few. Are you sure this is not Joe just pretending he's got a family and walking back in and trying to get more food? The cashier, who was hairy as he was contemptuous, looked at them with a scowl of disgust and said, "Please, I wouldn't serve such prestigious food to such peasantry. Begone with you." With his words stinging, he spit.
But he would serve Joe who was having sex with the people.
With his words stinging, he spit on the father's change. Joe looked at that sight, felt his veins tightening, his head coming undone, a bulge coming from his nether regions, from his pajama bottoms, and loudly proclaimed,
"What the hell?
That's it. You've done Mother McFucked up." He ran over.
Is he gonna rape the cashier?
He ran over the counter like a lizard running on water, picked up the cashier by one hand and broke the back of the delinquent.
Yeah, the third arm.
Joe looked at the family with a reassuring nod and said, "Don't worry, fine folks. Everything will be half off."
As they screamed in terror.
With that, Joe proceeded to systematically snap the backs of all the Burger King workers one by one, breaking them in half. He then threw the Whoppers to the masses, all on me, he
Caligula.
said, like an overly excited schoolgirl. Ren looks up from the scene and yells, "You freaking dingus. Do you mind? I'm trying to make high art." This whole time he was drawing Tyler in the pose of the thinker, trying to draw him like one of his French comics. You sure this one won't go up? You sure this one won't go up on Facebook? Tyler asks with concern. "Nonsense," Ren says. "This one's from my personal collection." "You cheeky bastard, you," Tyler giggles. Nathan looks around and says, "The only way to break the awkwardness is to break some wind." Nathan lets out one heck of a toot and fart as the friends laugh and leave the Burger King, looking forward to more adventures ahead. So holy
What
shit.
was in that food?
That was good, Gavin.
Why did they
What's
put into
wrong
that
with you,
food?
I'm so violent.
What's
you
your problem,
ran up
Joe?
with that shit.
Yeah,
You know,
Juicy Joe Amato.
you've made it when people are writing fanfic about you.
Yeah,
So,
Elliot, we made it, guys.
Just a freaking Caligula.
Oh my god. I
Joe-
hope that name don't stick. Juicy Joe Amato.
Juicy
Wow.
Joe's a menace.
I still love the what was it? You done McFucked up. That was brilliant.
Yeah, you done.
Fucked up.
That was great. That was like
And we were in Burger King, so
Yeah. You know me. I guess I don't give a shit. Oh, that was great.
I didn't even think about that. It's brilliant.
Oh, that's good.
Good
That was a
stuff,
laugh,
Gavin.
Burger
Yeah.
King massacre.
Oh my
Oh, that's
god.
good.
I tell you what, Gavin, thank you for not making me a weirdo like you made Joe, because golly,
Pretty much.
that dude was
Eating up
fucking
the
burger.
cashier with his bulge.
yeah. Why would you get hard, Joe? Why did you get hard?
Yeah, Joe, why?
The aggression, I guess. Holy
That's what
I know.
happens when you're juicy, man.
He's like,
The
"Ah."
blood
shit.
pumping.
Juicy Joe Amato. Bloody hell.
here's
Juicy Joe Amato.
here's
Oh,
a
that's
question.
saying.
Here's a question from Papa Hood 69. James, did you do extras on BCI Master Universe DVD box sets?
Yeah. I worked on those. Yeah, God, 2005, 2006, long time ago now. Yeah, we did. Yeah, the interviews I think were all done by Andy Mangles, and then I did the editing to the scripts, and I provided the questions I think as well. But then I think, remember, was it 2000? I think it was 2005 as well. Went over there for the San Diego Comic-Con launch of the DVD sets. That was amazing. God, talk about geeking out. You know, because BCI paid for our hotel and flights and everything. So, but we were in the hotel at San Diego Comic-Con. So you would come out of of the hotel, or just walk into the actual big convention center. And I remember being in the lift with I kept bumping into, of all people, Ed McGuinness. You know, Ed McGuinness, the artist. So random, to the point where we just knew each other. It was just like, oh, I guess we're just firm friends now. But everyone was in that hotel. But during that first day I was there, we were interviewed. It was me, Val, and I think Emiliano. I'm laughing because Val and I were interviewed. So was Emiliano, just about our fandom and contributions and stuff like that. Centuries. I think those showed up on like the season box sets or the New Adventures set. But for some reason, they didn't use Emiliano's footage on one of the documentaries. So instead, I think Val mentions Emiliano, and it cuts to a black and white image of Emiliano, still image of him from one of the interviews, and it looks like he died. Because Val's talking, he's like, when I worked with Emiliano, it just cuts this black and white shot of Emiliano.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like,
That's awesome.
oh, bless him. But yeah, there was a lot of fun doing those box sets. A lot of hard work. Oh my god.
Is that now on the German Blu-ray set?
Yeah, they did all of those extras from the BCI sets. They put them on the German Blu-ray set. So that was pretty cool as well.
Just find that little part and clip it. And
Yeah, send it to us.
Yeah, I think it was on the New Adventures one, because the New Adventures box sets had the comics. So it had Val, Larry Houston, Emiliano, and then I think I was on the New Adventures one talking about, because they couldn't find anyone to talk about the New Adventures of He-Man. Funny that. So it was just like, I guess I'll be doing that. So yeah, that was me sitting there. Whilst that was oh god, it's crazy to look back on experiences like that and think, Jesus Christ, I'll never have that experience again. It was amazing. So yeah.
Here is a comment from Spare Smurf. Try saying that 5 times fast. Amato fucked a Whopper 34 years ago, and now we have Taylor Swift. A comment from Carrie Ann. I'm just in here to watch Ren flex. So Ren.
Oh God. Oh, Carrie Ann, why did you give fucking Ren the Zeke? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't get upset about it, Joe. It's all for you, sweetheart.
We can all do that.
Going to bulk up even more.
No. It's all right, guys. We can all do that because look, this is the trick of the camera. Ready? Look at this. Ready? Look at the size of my arm.
USA.
Calm down. Don't hurt yourself.
Just gonna be in like those old
Yo,
muscle
make your
ads.
kitties dance, you jerk.
No, I won't do that.
Just gonna be like in those old comic book ads about getting bullied by the strong man, and he's like, "I'm gonna show them all. I'm gonna buy a gun."
Yeah.
Boobs dancing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It looks like you have like a.
Yeah, but you can see it better at a distance there.
Yeah, you can see it better.
But get up because it's off the camera.
No, you're gonna see more and more coming soon. Like I said, I'm getting more and more in shape, and
Oh,
even
wow.
better. He's
got big ass forearms and jacking off.
Yeah, see, look at that. James can do it too.
God damn, look at them pecs. Look at them pecs. Jesus.
Damn,
Super
James.
Macho Man from
Calm
Mike Tyson's
down,
Punch-Out.
baby. You got it. You got it. I don't want any trouble, James. No problem. No
Okay,
problem.
sorry,
You know what's
guys.
funny?
Golly.
That's when I started
Sometimes I just
doing.
have to be the most manly guy on this podcast. I'm sorry.
No, but to let you
It's
know,
the way
James,
it is,
that's
right?
when I first started trying to do the pec dance was watching Super Macho Man from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Believe it or not, that's when I started. I was like, that looks cool, even though it was a video game. And I started doing it, and that's where I learned to do my pec dance. Was
Started doing what?
the pec dance. You got your pecs, so that's when I started doing that shit.
Oh man.
Fun fact, huh?
The
You
chat
are
is
weird.
The chat is lovely tonight. JSP from other. There seems to be a theme here. The millennials on the show like Street Fighter, while the Gen Xers didn't in terms of the movies.
It's because we were firsthand.
Yeah,
and it was trash.
I mean, I played the video games when they came out. When the first Street Fighter 2
you
arcade
didn't
showed
play
up,
the games when it came out.
Yeah, I did.
No, you did not.
I did.
You did not play the original
you were like, what,
game.
4?
Oh, I didn't
Were you
play.
4?
I didn't play the shitty Street Fighter 1. If that's what you're talking about.
You watch your mouth.
I haven't played that one. You old.
Wait,
your
Street
mouth.
Fighter on Commodore 64.
That's
Well,
hardcore.
Yeah. JSP, do we know if Shout Factory still owns distribution rights to Transformers G1? Hasbro, in their infinite wisdom, is it planning on releasing the G1 series on Blu-ray?
Maybe. If they do, they're not talking about it.
I mean, Doosan's probably just upscaling them all anyway. So just
No,
hit
but
him
I
up.
know a guy who does.
No, okay. Well, there you go.
You know a guy? Okay.
Yeah.
This comes from Shut Up Deucin. James, what is Deucin's first opinion about Master Universe, and why is it all of them?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. You've answered your own question then.
Spare Smurf back at it again. Not gonna lie, I have did self-service to Ren's Peck tonight. Peck's tonight.
What?
So
What?
There we go.
What?
Yeah,
What?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys later.
There we
Jesus
go.
Christ.
Hey, Joe. There's a comment from there's a comment from a fella by the name of Adam Gabbard. Says, "Take off your shirt."
No, sure ain't coming off.
Yeah, do it. Take
All
off your
right,
jeans
well,
as well.
That sounds like Photoshop material if I've ever heard it. Fetmon, question, James, Fans Power host. What one-shot Master Universe or Princess of Power character would you like to have seen get a follow-up episode from Filmation?
Oh, I know this one. No, seriously. Oh, what was it? There's one I was thinking about the other day, and I thought like, oh, that's really annoying. Come back to me.
Strong arm.
I'll think of something.
Strong
What was
arm.
it? What
Strong
the-
arm.
Did you say strong arm?
Yes.
Ugh, strong lame. That's what I like to call it.
Oh my god.
That was lame.
No, Jitsu is lame. Jitsu and his perpetual back problems.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I have no idea, man.
Joe, you got one?
I don't know.
It's weird. Just didn't think of.
I mean, I'd probably say like obviously it goes without saying like Chakotay would be the obvious. I think because she got one episode and it's like you could have done so much more by bringing her back, but at the same time, one appearance, does that make her more special? If you bring someone back over and over
I agree.
again, it's just like.
But if you listen carefully, you can hear Tyler Baker screaming, "Azrog!"
Oh God,
Yeah.
Azrog and
Mine
Spider.
is somebody that is too overpowered, but I loved him, and that's Shigora. That would have been cool to see him
Yeah,
have another
Shigora's a good
shot.
shout.
Because it fucking took everybody to send him
Because
back.
he's fat like you.
Damn.
No, I mean, damn, it took everybody to stop. That was a fucking hell of a character. He got into Grayskull like nobody else
He was
ever
a
did.
slob.
It's like, what the?
He was a
piss
slob.
off, fuckface. God damn it. What about you, Dushin?
He said
I already
strong arm.
said strong arm, you dork.
Oh, I don't listen to you. What about you, Nathan?
Huntara would probably be a good one.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a great.
Yeah,
shout.
after all, we nearly got the Slaxon Wars.
Yeah.
Then no islands.
Shigora? Is that what you
Shigora, yes.
said?
God damn it, that was the
Googled it.
most delayed fucking reaction I've heard. Like,
No.
you know Shigora. What did you Google? He had to
I had-
Google.
I
He
had
didn't
to
know what the
Google
fuck a Shigora is.
I had to
Yeah,
no
watch the
wonder. This
episode.
shit's disgusting.
No,
Yeah,
you
like,
gotta see
he
the
likes that
episode. Then you
blow.
be,
It's a turd.
He likes
with
the
arms.
blow.
no, wait. You have to see the episode. This fucker is
Re-
unstoppable.
You know what? Why he really likes Shigora? It's because of those anime with the
What?
tentacles.
Oh, he likes the
Oh,
tentacle
Jesus
anime.
Christ.
Oh,
No, you
man.
have got to see the episode. Ren, I know
You're
we
a
give each other
nasty
shit
dude.
back. Ren, I know we give each other shit back and forth,
He was,
but
he
you
was
love that
picturing
episode.
different scenes with sorcerers and Shigora.
Oh dear.
Okay. I'll look it up. I'll try to watch it this week.
God
The
damn it,
laugh
just do
track.
piss me off. What's
Yeah,
another
nice.
question? What we got?
Another comment here from Shut Up Deucin. Deucin should take off his shirt. It makes me hungry for chicken.
Who is?
Oh,
Who's
damn.
Dushan? Is that
I don't know.
Dushan?
Is-
Do
We
you
don't
see
like
me
it's
wearing
him.
a shirt? You can
I feel
clearly
like it
see
is
my
douchey.
pecs.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably him. He's probably just doing that to put it up there.
Well, you won't hear my keyboard.
Oh, that's true. You would hear
it's
the.
true.
Not
mute
necessarily.
it.
We
You
never
can
hear
mute
his keyboard
easily.
any other time.
I think he mutes the shit and is doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, here I'm gonna type. Hear that?
Here's a question. Hey Joe, you wearing pants tonight? What is
Jesus
it with
Christ,
the
yeah.
shit tonight?
Why is everybody saying, look, I got
Oh,
my
shit,
Jason
that's-
That's not me either.
Look, it's some Jason pajamas right there. That's some cool shit.
Stop it.
God. Damn you
So-
people.
So I all the time I say Deucin. James says, how do you say
Oh, I
it?
said Dushan.
Dushan.
Yes.
Because I used to pronounce him Duzak. Was it when I first
You
did
say
the YouTube?
Dusan. You used to say Dusan, and
I
then
think I
Yeah,
pronounced it
was
like
like
Suzanne. I was like Dusan. So I was like, oh, Duzan. And then he said, no, it's almost like Dushan. I was like, oh, okay, I can do that.
Well, I say Doosan because I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying douche.
But it is Dushan. Dushan.
Dushan.
But it's how you come out with it, though.
It's
Dushan.
Dushan?
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Just call me Mitrovic.
Why did you never correct me?
Hey. You never mispronounced it. What are you talking about?
Really? Oh, okay.
And I remember I was the first person to say his name correctly. He's like, yes.
I was
So he
calling you
No, it
Steve the
wasn't.
whole time. Like I've been
Yes,
calling you
it was.
Steve
I
for years.
actually told
Joe
you. I was like,
was mispronouncing it.
no.
Same
I
with
wasn't.
Emiliano. Same with Emiliano. He was
You're
mispronouncing
a
his
fuck
name as
nut.
well.
I said it right. I was the first person that said your name right
Look how
first and last
once again,
name.
look how easy it is to just get Joe riled up.
You
Damn.
Joe was
Joe
even
just snapped.
mispronouncing Tyler's name early on. He was going with Taylor.
Oh,
Taylor.
do we got another
Taylor
question?
Baker.
No, most of it's just about pants and stuff.
Taylor
Okay.
Biker.
And I don't have
Taylor
Granada.
Biker.
I still got to get that figure. Adam was wondering if anybody has Granada. I don't have her yet, but I got it.
Wait, what did they?
I
Wait,
yeah,
sorry,
Super 7 came out
For
towards
for
the
classics
end. For
line.
classics.
Classics.
did they? I completely forgot that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have her, but
Yeah, I guess I
get
don't have her either. I think
Man.
I almost got her
forgot
on
This was
eBay.
probably near the end.
Yeah, must
Yeah,
have been.
it was near the tail end of it for sure.
And we didn't get Malakta.
No.
Right. Well,
It's
we
so
got from
nuts
Papa Hut.
that you have a character that is like so kind of recognizable, and
Yeah,
they just seem
unbelievable.
to
Like I
avoid
said,
him and do every other non-character.
And
Like,
the amount of
those
times I've made
aborted
him in-
concepts.
Yeah, and
Like this
I've made him
recent
in
one.
so many different iterations of forms of vintage to classics and origins and everything, and it always gets an amazing response. But no, it's not release them. But hey, we could do more concept shit that nobody has ever really recognized or known. Maybe some of the hardcore He-Man fans, but casuals like, who the fuck's this? Why do I want this version of Hordak or this version
I
of
saw
Grizzlord?
last week there was a couple of new figures they were showing. It was like the concept of Hordak and the concept of Grizzlor. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, obviously, that stuff was uncovered by Emiliano, myself, and Josh. And I think I own that Hordak drawing. And I'm just like, we could have just put any old bullshit out there. Like I could have just like, hang on a second.
I'm still waiting for them
Didn't
to
they go
make
with
the
your
unmasked
colours, I think?
Orko. No, unfortunately
Yeah.
not.
I should have said like, that's the original Hordak.
Let's make them.
No,
you know,
no,
and
no.
then- and then
that's
suddenly
clearly
he's
him.
an official
That's clearly
toy.
him. That's clearly him.
You know what, James? This is my thing that annoys me about the stuff. Like, obviously, things go through different, it starts, here's the concept, an idea. Oh, okay, well, let's tweak it to go with this. And after maybe, let's say, 10, 15, 20, bam, now you nailed it.
And don't
You nailed
forget
it for a
the
reason.
test public.
Well,
Like they
exactly, but
gather
what I'm
kids
saying-
and see their reactions.
Yeah,
And if they
but
don't
you get
react
one that
positively,
hits.
they
Yeah,
rework
this is the
it.
one that. Yeah, this is the one that hits, and this is what people want.
Yeah.
So why go back to all these early? Wouldn't it be cool to make this version that didn't make the cut? Now let's make them into a figure. It annoys me with the hundreds, thousands of characters from Filmation, the mini comics, all the other books, storybooks, comics that we know and we've been wanting. But instead of those, have this concept art. Just for an example, Demo Man went up on Mattel Creations. I told everybody, I was like, this is going to be the first Origins figure that won't sell out, in a day or instantly. It's going to take days. Sure as shit, it did. Because most people that I see in groups were like, wait, who the fuck is this? The casual fans don't understand what they're looking at. Hardcore might be like, oh, there's Demo Man. I remember when he came in Classics, even though most fucking didn't care about it then. But now you're going to continue with this shit? No, give us stuff we want. Give us Malactha. Give us characters we know and we've been crying and aching for. It infuriates me. So now we're going to get this fucking Hordak and this fucking Grizzlor that nobody knew or asked for.
But also, you're the one that wants to buy them all, so you're not really helping the cause.
Well, no. Let's say, admittedly, okay, yeah, with this line, I am the dipshit that's buying them all. But what I'm saying is, for those people that are selective, they're not like me. They're like, I'm not going to fucking get it. I've seen so many people say, I ain't getting it. So you're not going to have them sell as well because you're giving these fucking stupid ass goddamn concept things into figure form. Nobody
I think
wants
the biggest
them.
problem about the concept figures is I understand why they're doing them, but as we've already said, there are plenty of wonderful characters from the mini comics, the filmation, cartoon, everything to pull from. So you got all that, you got this wealth of material that already exists. The other problem with the concepts is they weren't fully realized. They were literally sketches. A part
And
of the
they get
process.
multiple color schemes. Like Demon Man has another color scheme out there.
Well,
It's
and the
not
other
just
thing
the
as well,
green
it's
version.
like, you look at the
Send me that picture, Deucin, if you don't mind.
I think it's up on the Battle Ram blog. Nathan, could
yeah,
you check
Battle Ram
that?
blog would have it. Yeah, but you look at some of the concepts that were fully rendered but just never went to production, like oh god, what's his name? I mean, I think, I don't know if it was the official name, but like Inflator, right? Yeah, I get that's a very unique figure with a thing, but that's like a fully rendered. I can appreciate
There's also
why.
Beetle Man, like
Yeah, but I could appreciate why that would be made into a figure, because like, oh yeah, we saw the fully rendered color concept. The reason it never became a toy was because at the time Mattel probably thought, we don't really think there's a market for this. But you could make it now if you're pulling from all these like random sources. But to start pulling from sketches seems like it's crazy, because it's like scraping the barrel, but there's still so much in the barrel that you don't need to scrape at the bottom for. It's like,
And that's what I was getting to. That's what I meant. That's what makes no sense. Like you said, that's early concept. It's sketches. It's like they didn't work for a reason. They were building to get to that final perfect version. So it's like, you're right. Why go to this shit? That didn't work. I don't understand their logic. Leave that shit alone. But I know they're thinking, hey, people are going to need, hear the name Hordak, Grizzler. Oh, that's an early Hordak or Grizzler.
Yeah.
Got to get it. But most people are like, this looks fucking terrible. Why do I want this?
I wonder
It's
if
a bad fucking move.
I wonder if the value of my Hordak illustration has gone up anymore. If I bring out, be like, who wants this? Who wants to buy this from me on eBay? And some collector be like, oh my god, I need that. What are we looking at here? Oh yeah, it's the
Beast.
the Beast Man.
This is what you wanted me to show, right? Like the early sketches and stuff. Or...
That's still one of my favorites.
I wanted to see that the other color, the Demo Man.
yeah, I found it. It's on another page. I'm gonna copy it and say it.
Do just send the link.
Here it is.
Okay.
So Joe, you bought it, right? Yes, the Demo
Yeah,
Man
yeah.
Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a.
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw it day before yesterday, I think,
Mhm.
and some people had it on.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's just gray. Okay, so some people had it on their YouTube channels and whatnot. They were talking about it, and
Mhm.
and I didn't even know Mattel Creations had put out an email for it, and
Yeah,
so
oh,
I was
yeah.
like, damn, I missed it. And then when it was still available, I was like, all right, let me.
so it's still available. You
I
don't.
bought a few of them, yeah. So I bought 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do some customs or something. I'm definitely
Yeah,
gonna strip his ass
they got
naked.
people. Right.
But-
You
but
can use them for customs. But
But so another problem with the concept characters. Just recently, they included the red Man-at-Arms, the red early Man-at-Arms, which was designed for a completely different line.
Yeah.
The repaint of that was for Masters of the Universe, but not the red one. And yet here it is. It's in Masters of the Universe now.
Yeah.
It's like
I just wish there was. I know. Like, who am I to say anything? But it's just like, I wish there was a slightly more focused vision of what they're doing. I just feel that it's sort of like
I get
every other. Because bear in mind, like, I don't know half the figures that have come out over the last few years. Like, if you showed me, like I said,
you'd be like,
I'll
what's
see.
that?
I'll see
Who's that?
stuff on eBay and think, I don't even know who that is. I
Right.
saw this
I get it.
giant was like a box, and it was like this red and black Horde trooper, and he had Trapjaw's like arm, but it was like see-through or something. I was like, who is this? Like, and again, I thought these were kind of fan creations. Not that that means that it's bad, but it's like, this looks like a fan idea, and then it was like, this is actually official. Okay,
Yeah.
and it just seems so random. I think that's the thing, because you know, with often with fan customs, they are random because you're pulling like you said, Joe, like Malactha, or I'm going to make Gorpo from the UK Annual, as you showed me the other day, like those kind of random things. But to suddenly put them in a toy line and just sort of like almost drop them in with no kind of context, it's just like, wait, who is this? Why is this? How does this relate to?
There's
Even when they
lot of
give
weird
it
shit.
even when they give it some backstory, it's like this early chariot thing. That's probably early battle ram. It's like they make it like a time machine, so it's like one of the ancients that drives it. It's like, well, this guy looks no different than modern Eternians, so you pretty much shrink the past, and it's like
It's very odd. Yeah,
Make
that's an
Well,
odd
remember
choice.
the
You-
original. That's even the description of like they use that for battle ram. It can move the warriors through space and time. Like that's
Actually,
the actual
that's actually.
description.
I remember like a lot of the
Yeah.
kind of early Filmation premise scripts have the battle ram as a ship that flies through space. There's references to it. I completely forgot about that, but yeah, they talk about
Yeah,
the battle
yeah.
ram as something that traverses space, and it's like, ooh,
Yeah, through space
fancy.
and time. Yeah, and quickly from Papa at 69, you're right. I mean, if we could get Mini in a big version of, like you said, Daimar the Demon, you know, like give us cool shit like that. That's stuff that would be
What's
awesome.
that from?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I also know it's
This-
Daimar.
This
but
came
what's
with that
Mondo.
Sideshow Orko.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
that's
excuse me,
nice.
Mondo. I said Sideshow. Mondo Orko. Yeah,
That's really
came
cool.
with him. Came with a Filmation Orko, a Filmation Driel. It's a
Oh
really
yes, I know the one you're talking about now. Yes.
Yeah,
and you
that's
too
fucking
can
awesome.
own it for just $600.
No,
Wee.
it was cool.
Also, speaking of Mini, the new Mini comics, like those are getting worse and worse. Like
I have
James,
not read 'em.
you said that you saw some at the Grayskull Con.
I saw quite a lot of the great, because that was the thing. Like I've hardly seen those. I've seen one or two of the early ones, and then I was at Grayskull Con, and someone just had a stack of them lying on the table, like for €1 a book or whatever, which is relatively cheap. And I picked it up, and this is the thing I said to Dushan. I was so perplexed because I picked it up and I went through it, and I was like, "Why is there no dialogue in these?" There was nothing, like no dialogue, or just pictures, and I was like, "What?" And Dushan reminded me that for, I guess, certain foreign markets, they aren't
All of
including
them.
any languages. But it's
Yeah.
like, you do understand, not to be, somewhat condescending, but English is, Germany, Spain, Italy, all these motherfuckers are bilingual. Unlike me can barely speak English, but these motherfuckers all are bilingual. Why would you not give them mini comics at least in English? I get that we can't do the. Do you remember back in the 1980s? I don't know if you did with being in America, but we used to get the European comics, the mini comics. Sometimes we'd have like 4 languages in a mini comic. So you'd have like 1, 2, and then you flip it over and it's 3 and 4. And it's
I remember
like,
the flip. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like fucking massive mini comics. And I get that maybe costs prohibit that now, and it's Mattel we're not going to do those multi-language mini comics anymore. But removing the language completely and then going, this is what you're getting in Spain or Germany, it's like, that doesn't seem very fair. You do understand
Some of those
that
ended
most
up over
Germans
here.
speak English better than most English people. Yeah, it's just like
They
Some
have
of those,
slipped into some of ours too. Yeah,
some
the
of those
ones with
ended
no
up coming to our stores, yeah, and we
it's
would get
weird.
we
I
would
just
get
don't.
figures with no dialogue at all, yeah.
Actually, and like I flipped through a couple, and this is no disrespect to the writers or artists. I don't know them. I've never met them or anything like that. But it's like, you look at the mini comics in the 1980s. Like, these were drawn by industry professionals or up and coming industry professionals, and it's crazy to look at these and think like, I think I could have drawn these. That's when I think that I can write and draw something, I always consider that rather a low bar.
I get it.
Because it's like,
I get it.
well, if I can do it, when I look back at the Al Callis stuff, the Mark Texeira, the Larry Houston, I'm like, I only wish I could do that. I watch a Filmation episode. I only wish I could write dialogue like Straczynski or DiTilio or Robert Lamb or whatever. When I see
What's
the
funny
current
is
stuff, I'm
I
like,
don't even
could've
read
done
these. Like I just had one that was on the floor. I haven't even looked at when I took one of the figures out, and they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 pages. But I don't even read this shit. I don't even know what the fuck's I don't know what's going on. I don't
Come
care.
on, Joe. You know you want to do it. Do it.
Oh, get up, wait from here.
No,
This
no,
side
no,
seems better.
don't.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, look at it easily ripping apart.
I don't even read this shit. I don't even have a fucking desire to read any of these
Yeah,
mini
that's
comics
fair
after
enough.
reading those first batches
That's an
that they
extreme.
released.
That's an extreme measure.
And before anyone gets angry, think about this. Joe is increasing the value.
What's this one?
Genius.
Hey, we got another one. Look at that beautiful art of whatever the
You
fuck.
got them all over your room. But not anymore.
Hey! Woo! We got
Hang
more?
on.
What the fuck are these
Like, no,
laying
no,
around
like,
at?
Joe, you.
So I'm assuming Joe didn't get the regular comic of the Turtles Master Universe book that came out last week.
I
No,
saw
it's
I
not.
don't get
Stuff,
that
no.
shit.
So, yeah, so they actually made a full size comic of the
Which they
Master
originally
Universe
wanted to
Turtles
do years
crossover.
ago.
Was this
When
the Freddie
DC got
Williams
the
one?
license. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out last week. Yeah, the
Oh, wow.
the
Yeah, 'cause
guy
I mean,
who's
I've
doing
never seen
the
the
Turtles-
interior.
Wait a second. How
Yeah.
the hell does Turtles
It's
of
the-
Grayskull have more pages than the others? 1, 2, 3.
And it's
Look,
the same
this
artist.
gets more.
But to see if you can
Look at
read
him.
that one.
Wait, look at He-Man. Doesn't he look? Wait, where's that fucking face at? I'm covering it. God damn it! Wait a second. Oh, there he is. He looks really happy. He looks as serious
Yeah,
and
but he
intimidating.
won't be so happy when you rip it apart.
Hey!
Oh no, I like Freddie Williams artwork. Oh,
No, that's not by Freddy.
No, that's not.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's
a mini
not.
comic.
he's a good artist. I don't think his art works for that book.
Because the
No,
script
I don't think
I
it's
sucks.
style
just don't.
works for
I
that
don't give a
book.
shit about these comics. That's all I'm saying. I don't give a shit about these comics. They're
How
all
many
just
do you
fucking.
have?
I don't know.
He
It's
gets
just
all the
there's-
books. He gets all the characters. So
Hey!
they're all covered.
Every-
Oh!
Everywhere he turns, he finds some.
I just don't give a shit. Isn't
And
that
now
sad?
now
It's all
those pieces are just gonna lay in his floor for the rest of his
Yeah,
life.
forever.
No, what I'm saying, what annoys the fuck out of me is, like I said, is when this line first started, all the comics just wretched. It got
Yeah.
worse and worse and worse. And it's terrible when you lose the desire to even want to fucking read a mini comic. And that's
Yeah.
what I used to love
Yeah.
so much back in the day. You'd get the figure,
Oh my
you
God.
couldn't wait for that mini comic. Yeah. And you couldn't wait, like, oh goddamn. So now the figures, yeah, I enjoy the Origins figures, but when I see the mini comics, I have zero fucking desire to even read because I was like, you guys just
I will
butcher
say
all
this
the
though. I
fucking
will say
story.
this about the 1980s. I, as much as I love it, it's one of my favorite mini comics. I lost count of how many times I would buy a figure and see Clash of Arms. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
like-
yeah. I got a
Don't get me wrong.
shit ton of them. Yeah.
Love it, but I think I think I've said before. I do wonder. There's probably no evidence of what was printed, but I'd love to know the print run for mini comics because I guarantee that Clash of Arms was probably the most printed mini
That,
comic because
and
it
along
came
with,
with
the Search for Keldor, I had a shit ton of those. There
yeah,
was
because
a ton.
both of those came with numerous figures. Like the
Yeah,
Clash
yeah.
Clash of Arms came with Orko, not even in it, Whiplash, Clawful, Jitsu, Fisto, Webstore, no, it's not Strider. So it came with a bunch of figures, and I just remember, like, you know, you'd get it and you'd buy a new figure and be like, oh, Clash of Arms again. I still love it and I still read it, and who doesn't love the artwork by Larry Euston? But at the same time, it's like, I'm not this mini comic again. And
But,
you
but
get-
hey, but also that's the best goddamn mini comic they put out. That was just fucking fantastic.
But you get some
that and
some
the
mini
Search
comics
for
were just
Keldor.
so hard to come by. Like the two that I always thought that the hardest to come by were the Menace of Multibot, because I think it only came with Multibot, and Masks of Power. I always found that one hard to get.
Really?
With one by
I've had a
Alcala.
few of those. Of course,
that
the
was,
Ultimate
you know-
Battleground, we know that because coming with Eternia, but
Search for the Insect People. That was everywhere. Search for the Insect People.
Yeah.
Again, I think that was like was it Search for the Insect People?
What's-
He-Man and the Insect People. Sorry.
wait, I thought there was I know it's not a great mini comic, but Eye of the Storm, I think that was one that you didn't see too
Yeah,
often.
agreed. Yeah, because when
Yeah.
in the early days of eBay, we're talking. God, I first got on eBay in '97,
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
and I started buying loads of mini comics because I was just like, oh, I just want, and I accumulated like hundreds of mini comics, and you
I
could
bet.
work out by what you were buying, like just how few of certain ones there were. Like weirdly, I rarely ever saw Battle in the Clouds. Saw the other first 4, but never Battle in the Clouds. It's like, how strange, just certain ones pop up more than others. But yeah, going back to the whole point of the discussion was those mini comics used to, create so much excitement, and they all seem to serve a purpose. Yes, they didn't necessarily connect to the next one. Like, there was definitely, the first 4, the 7 DC comics, the Larry Houston ones, which started to take the Filmation inspiration, then everything that followed, like with the Bruce Timm stuff that came later. And you think, even though there was a little continuity and stuff, you still loved each and every one of those stories, because it felt like there was, I don't know, sometimes you look at the figure and it didn't even match, but you were able to infuse so much of that mini comic into the figure you bought, like Spiker or Cyclone. It was like, I've got the figure, and there's this mini comic that tells me that the best way to defeat Spiker is throw him at a tree and he's fucked, and stuff like that. I love that kind of. This thing I can criticize what little I've seen of the new mini comics. I'd have to sit down and read them to properly be able to offer a criticism. But
you give it a you give it a shot. If you want to start off from the ones from when it first started, and they just got worse, and I couldn't continue.
And they were usually like 4 pages. It was just kind of weird because it started and then it ended, and you were like, "Oh,
I remember
there's not even much dialogue, nothing."
Do you remember the So I don't know how much they ran, how many mini comics they produced, but do you remember the mini comics that briefly came with the classics figures? Those ones, I remember that the weirdest thing about the first few of those that I saw was that they'd clearly drawn them at comic book size, scaled them down, and so it didn't match the page dimensions. And because you're scaling down the artwork, everything looks too small. It doesn't register.
Right. And it was no, exactly. I know they scaled it down, and it still didn't go into the dimensions of an actual mini comic. They were still slightly a little longer, but I get it. You're right. Yeah.
But like when they used to do those mini comics in the 80s, they were illustrating knowing that it's going to be reduced by this much. So here's how much visually we have to work with.
And you at Heritage auctions, you can see the original artwork.
Yeah. You don't go like, you don't have Rob Liefeld or Todd McFarlane illustrate a mini comic, because you reduce that. It's like suddenly it goes, all the details just like destroy your eyes. You're like, oh, there's so much rendering going on here. But like, you look at Larry Houston, highly accomplished artist, and what he was doing with a lot of his mini comics was less on detail and more about the energy of the panels, especially like Clash of Arms. That's got so much kind of John Buscema influence and stuff.
And he knew how to tell a story with the art. That's what was just great about it. And he worked on. Remember, everybody forgets he worked on more Masters of the Universe mini comics than any of the other artists. Larry Houston. Is that more.
True?
Yes, it is true. Yes.
I believe that because he had that giant run in the middle when you think about it. Yeah.
And who knows how many unpublished comics?
Yeah, of course. Well, the one I think I mentioned before on the podcast a while back was the original Treachery of Modulok one. That one still fascinates me. I think he still has a bunch of pages from that, which is, where I don't think Hordak's even in it, and so it's Skeletor and Modulok. It's really unique, but and it's got different illustrations in at points and stuff. But the mini comics, the originals. It's easy to say, oh, you're just an old fan talking about the old comics. It's like, because they were fucking brilliant. It's simple as that.
They were brilliant. They were better, and they were memorable.
Even the Leech mini comic was far more enjoyable than any of the new ones.
It's crazy, like those. I've talked before, but like those Mike Sekowsky, Leech, and Matt Teddy mini comics. When I was a kid, couldn't stand them. I was just like, these are garbage. And then the older I got, the more I was like, I can actually see what was going on here. It's madness, but there's something.
But it shows we still, there are some rough things. I mean, there's some, we can admit it. There are some mini comics.
But Merman with a beard, Leech changing size in every panel. But then, you look at the work of Mike Sekowsky, and he was like a proper veteran of the comic book industry. It's like I think he was the first person to illustrate Starro in the Justice League, the giant what was it, like monster that terrorized
but Hordak, what the fuck was Hordak a giant for in the mini comic? It's like, I don't know what's going on. But
Well,
so
you know,
no,
on those
yeah.
because obviously I got my hands on that Evil Robot mini comic, and that's such a wonderful insight into how the mini comics were produced, because it's kind of, well, it is unfinished. Like the last 4 pages kind of go into just rendered layouts kind of thing, and it's just like this would have been even more bizarre than the others. I think this mini comic, because it's just Skeletor, Hordak turns up, nicks the robot, attacks the palace. He-Man blows up the robot, and then Hordak says, "The next time you see me, He-Man, I'm going to turn up with a bunch more robots." And that's obviously a hint at the Horde Troopers, and it's like, ooh, that's interesting. But yeah, it's crazy. You look at that, it's like Mike Sekowsky. He's like a fucking legend of comic books. But yeah, it's I think Lee Nordling, the editor of the mini comic, said that he just wanted a gig. So he's like, "Do you want to do some He-Man comics?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, okay." Just went crazy, I guess, with Leech. Yeah, because when you think about it, the Mantenna mini comic is a little more structured. No one's changing sizes,
Well, at least that, yeah. But
yeah, there's some poetry in there as well. But yeah, the Leech mini comic is still the most bizarre
that's
thing.
rough. That's rough. Well, we have another question before we wrap it up, Nathan. We got anything else from this chat or anything, or is it time to say piss off to everybody?
Yeah, we can just say, I mean, to Carrie Ann asking Ren if he's going to be using Just for Men on his beard again, or is he just going to leave it gray?
Yeah, it's gonna stay gray forever.
There you go.
There we go.
I'm not dyeing it anymore.
Okay, well, James, you got to be coming on more often, man. It's always great having you on here. You're a part of the show, right? You do know that.
Yeah, because Tyler Baker has been fired.
You seem to be the only thing. You seem to be the only thing that kind of levels out the absolute nuts of Joe Amato. So
I think it must be the time zone.
The rest of us just kind of be quiet when he goes on his rants, and we just go to sleep.
I just stand and do this.
Yeah.
I appreciate he does. He brings the levels down. Wait, no, I got to turn my
I'm
back
cleansing
to him.
his aura.
There we go.
Look.
You got to give me a nice. There we go. Shoulder up. That's good. That's good stuff.
And now we're age restricted.
No, he does. He balances me down. Because I am fucking up here and James is always mellow. So it's a good balance. But if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
Let's James, you got a movie quote for us?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
No. Where did you do the little explosions? That was cute.
Yeah.
Do the heart. Do the heart thing. It's supposed to try to squeeze it down. There it is.
How's Ren doing this?
I don't know.
Magic.
Some people's phones do that. Now that's gonna rain. Watch.
What?
There's also lasers.
I
can't do it either. Mine
Yeah,
doesn't do it. I think it's
What is this?
No, the horns.
what? Just one thumb.
Oh yeah. This one.
What happens then?
Is it 2 of them? There we go.
What?
Yeah, lasers. There's just a generic one thumbs up. It looks like a like from Facebook, I think.
That's why the thumbs up appeared earlier. I figured.
If I do anything and it thinks that I'm doing a thumbs up, it'll just pop up.
What happens if you kind of turn around and flash your arse? Does it do something then?
It gets the stream taken down.
Off of fucking YouTube. Yeah,
this shows up on the screen.
Right. All right, Nathan, give us a quote. You can do a quote.
I do. That's why I was asking James if he had one.
Give us a quote from Street Fighter.
I got nothing.
No.
I got nothing.
Fuck, okay. No
legit,
quote
I got
this
nothing.
week. All right.
I got nothing.
See you guys next week.
I mean, sure, you could give us a quote.
Say my name. Say my name.
Never ending story.
There you go.
All right, there we go.
There, thanks.
I thought maybe that was like Backdoor Sluts 9 or something.
And now Joe is going to perform a disappearing act.
Yeah. Actually, Duzin, you should be the one to do it. Sorry, Dushin. There we go. You disappear. No, not like that. You thought you were going to do this thing where you leave the screen again, but that works too. That works.
Yeah, it makes Skelly walk away, yeah.
Yeah.